The year was 1946. The veterans of Quintero Falls, Minnesota had returned, and life was beginning to seem normal again, except for the Jamolison family. And, of course, the salmon farmers. The winter had been especially harsh, as I'm sure you all remember, and all the salmon farmers had been suffering. But I digress. Isaiah Jamolison had come home scarred from what he had seen, and his family was paying the price.
No,
Boy,
Dad!
boy, you get back here! Don't make me get in trouble!
Dad, please, I just want to learn!
Shut your dumb mouth! Don't play with Pokemon cards!
Dad, I don't want to do team things anymore! I just want to read books and learn!
One more crack like that, and I'm sending you to the basement!
I hate you! I'm going to my room and never coming out!
And don't come back till you bring your old man some apple juice. Nothing I like more than a bottle of Moss in the morning. Yeah, bring Daddy some cider.
Dad, no!
Boy, quit being such a square! You ain't gonna act like a teen, you can get the heck out! You're like your mother!
Mom let me learn anything I wanted! You're just a useless juice box tipper!
You get back here, sonny boy!
If only I knew what this stuff meant. Derivatives, integrals, L'Hospital's rule. My dad would never teach me this stuff, but my mom would.
See, Scoot, this sponge is shaped like a rectangle, and the orange, that's shaped like a sphere.
Oh. Gee whiz, Ma. There sure are lots of crazy shapes.
That there are, Scoot. Can I teach you about the relationships between trigonometric functions and Maclaurin series? Maybe some other day. I'm gonna make your toast now.
Mom, Dad's back! He's back and he has his apple juice!
Gosh dang it, Lafifa. Why are you filling Scoot's head with this crazy math nonsense? He needs to be eating Lunchables and playing with his Game Boy. Here, son. Take your Game Boy. That's my boy right there.
Not in front of Scooter!
That was the last time that Scooter saw his mother. She left in the small hours of the following morning.
Why is Dad doing this to us? Pa just don't understand. I'm gonna find someone to teach me this stuff. Sonny boy! Where you think you're going, Sonny boy, get back here! No!
Now Scooter traveled far and wide on his quest for calculus. Around the summer of 1947, he came upon a lumberjack by the name of Euler Joe.
Hello?
Who are you?
My name's Scooter Devarius Jamolison, and I'm on a quest for calculus.
Calculus, you say?
It's such a complex and wonderful math. I do very much wish to learn it.
I've been out here chopping trees and avoiding the law,
Haven't seen a single soul in 3 years.
Pardon me for being nosy, but do you know a darn heckin' thing about calculus?
Funny you'd ask. I've been trying to figure the rate at which ladder slides down a tree by its height.
How the heck would you do that?
As you can see here, we drew out the relationship between the ladder and the tree and the ground. And using the Pythagorean theorem and derivatives and related rates, we solved for trying to figure the rate of change of the ladder from the base of the tree. We take the derivative of the Pythagorean theorem, we substitute in the values we know, but I just can't figure out what to do for the next step.
Well, excuse me, sir, but if you just divide both sides by 12, then you isolate dx over dt, and that equals 4.
By God, you've got quite a future, my boy.
Well, thank you, sir, but I have to get going.
Oh, don't leave. You got a nice pair of legs. You wanna go for a ride?
I gotta go. Hey! Mom!
Get back here! Come here, you pesky little buggers. Come to Daddy. Daddy needs his salmon. They don't call Salmon Sam for nothing.
Hello?
Who goes there? I told you, government man, stay away from me. You're not taking my salmon farm, not again.
My name's Scooter Jamalison. I'm not here to steal your salmon farm.
All right, boy. Well, what are you doing wandering in this neck of the woods?
I'm on a quest for calculus.
Boy, I use calculus every day here on my salmon farm.
Sir, what salmon farm?
Why, this one right here.
Excuse me, sir, but I believe that's just an old creek.
That's what they all say. What they don't know is that I'm the greatest salmon producer in the Tri-County area.
How do you know when to harvest these here salmon?
I'll harvest the salmon when the creek has reached its carrying capacity.
Well, how do you model the population of the salmon?
Why, with a logistic differential equation, of course.
Can you teach me about that, Salmon Sam?
Sure I can. Now you see.
Well, I see. Do you?
Boy, you better shut your mouth before I smack you upside your head. Now, logistic differential equations follow the format of Kp times m minus p, with m being the carrying capacity, see? Yeah. Now, if you separate, integrate, and isolate, p equals m over 1 plus ae to the negative mkt.
Just like that.
Exactly.
Thank you so much. Now I won't have to go fishing for answers to logistic differential equations.
Was that a fish pun, boy? You better get your ass out of my salmon farm.
Sorry.
Moo. Now fate can be a funny thing. It can drive a man insane, wondering what his fate will be. Sometimes good, sometimes bad, but never the same. Right about this time, Scooter's fate was about to take an interesting turn.
Scooter? Scooter DeBerry, Mr. Mollison?
Mom?
Scooter, my boy!
Mom!
Yes, it's me!
Mom!
I've missed you!
I've missed you too, Mom.
How have you been? It's been so long.
I'm learning about calculus.
I see, you've been learning about calculus.
I'm on a quest to learn all about calculus. I've learned related rates from Euler Joe, and I've learned about logistic differential equations from Sam and Sam, and there was this cow.
Wow, that's a lot of interesting things. I knew you were smart.
Dad never thought so.
I know, Scooter, but I'm glad you've been able to learn now.
Me too.
I know you've learned a lot about derivatives, but have you learned about the opposite of derivatives?
No, I haven't, Mom. Could you teach me about that?
Yeah! The opposite of a derivative is an integral. One way to take an integral is to do the power rule. What you do is you raise your x value by 1 power and then multiply it by 1 over your new power and add c if you don't have limits of integration. Other special integrals are the trigonometric ones, which are, so for example, the cosine one is sine plus c.
Oh, what's C?
C is an arbitrary constant.
So what can you use these for?
You could use it to find the area under a curve. So this function from 0 to 10 has those limits of integration. Then if you take the integral, you get this, which is this is how you denote that you've taken the integral by capital of the f or the g or whatever you're using. And then it's the integral from 10 to minus the integral from 0.
Oh, gee whiz, Ma, that sure is swell.
Yeah. All right, Scoot, I think we gotta go home, bring you home, and see your dad. And you can show him all that you've learned.
Well, all right.
Wafifa? Is that you?
Yes, Isaiah. Scooter brought me home.
Little Scoot's back too. Oh, Scooter.
Dad.
Oh, I missed you like I missed my moths.
We need to talk. Scooter has learned a lot of math, especially calculus. You need to let him bloom like a flower on a spring morning.
Yeah.
You need to repair your relationship with your son that you almost ruined. You know, and I know, that you know how to do calculus. Teach him.
All right, son. Let's go to the basement.
No, not the basement!
Son, this is for calculus.
Oh boy!
On the surface, what Scooter wanted was to learn calculus. Underneath, what he needed was to connect with his father. Now I hope the best for Scooter and his parents.
Here's my old textbook. If I do remember, page 491. Hey, there it is. Maclaurin series. Let me teach you a thing or two.
That sure would be swell, Pops.
Well, my boy, let's start with the basics. Their series is a sequence of numbers added together. And the series either converges or diverges. This can be modeled by a number of different functions.
What else can you teach me?
There's several important functions. So I'll show you here. They're called Taylor series or Maclaurin series if you want to be fancy. We're going to start by learning about some of the more important Maclaurin series, which are derived from function. And you can use these to construct other series. Later on I'll show you. First, let's just look at this one. So there's your function. It models this series here. Just goes on and on and on because of the series. And it goes here. This is sigma notation, if I'm not mistaken. There we are. And then it has bounds like this. So you can use these Maclaurin series, which are derived through long proofs, which we won't get into because you're still a youngin'. And if you go something like this, you see a function, and you know something like this. Just simply plug this area in here, or all the x's in here, and you derive a new function. Now there's several other Maclaurin series that can be valuable. Such as one represented by e to the x. That's a valuable one. You throw in different values for x, and you just plug it in here, here, and so on and so forth. Now the other two that are most important are sine, cosine, which are quite similar. I recognize these patterns when you get a little bit older. Whoops. And so forth, equal to. This negative one here means alternating series. And there are your basics. And cosine are quite similar. And so forth, represented by again, it's an alternating series. And that's your series for the day, boy.
Wow, there's so much to learn. What else can you teach me about series?
Not much, son. That basically sums it all up. In fact, there really isn't much of a point.
Well, I sure have learned a lot. Calculus is such an important aspect of math. I can't wait to find practical applications for the math I've learned.
Functions and Maclaurin series.
God damn it! Dad's back! Mommy's back! Yeah, apple juice, Mom!
Gosh dang it, Lafifa! Fuck me, that's not a sudden accent.
Action!
Evan, you know, I've missed you. It's been so long since I've seen Evan.
That's not it.
It's been.
We're still rolling.
I know, I'm just, the sweat makes
No,
it
it's good.
unstick.
It's fine. It's fine.
You see, son, I used to be just like you, thirsting for knowledge. You say you're lying.
Not yet.
Yes, you do.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We need to talk. I don't remember what my
It didn't go yet. I hate you. I'm going to my room and never coming out.
And don't come back till we bring your daddy some cider. Shit.
You idiot.